With a huge round of applause, please welcome Dr. Faisal, Assistant Vice President. So please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all are going to witness the most important part of the event, the unveiling of book 25 Hope Street, authored by Dr. Sunita and edited by Miss Anandita. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to come forward and unveil the book 25 Hope Street. I request Dr. Faisal, please come forward. Now I would like to invite Dr. Sunita to please come forward and share few words regarding her experiences while writing this book 25 Hope Street. A huge round of applause for Dr. Sunita Mulanki, author of the book 25 Hope Street.
Good afternoon everyone. Andariki namaskaram. Sir, I have to speak in both the languages because there are some speakers, some audience who doesn't understand. ఓకే సో అందరికీ చాలా 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 హార్దిక శుభాభినందనలు మన హోప్ ఇది ఉమెన్స్ డే సందర్భంగా. అంత తెలుగు రాదు బట్ స్టిల్ ఐల్ ట్రై. హార్దిక శుభాభినందనలు. ఓకే సార్. హలో యా. సో 25 హోప్ స్ట్రీట్ అనే పుస్తకం గురించి చెప్పాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇవాళ మన ప్రొఫెసర్ సుబ్బారావు గారిని ఇక్కడికి ఎందుకు ఇన్వైట్ చేశాము అన్న విషయాన్ని నేను ఫస్ట్ చెప్తాను. సో ఈ సార్ రిటైర్డ్ వీసీగా ఉన్నారు, ప్రొఫెసర్ అన్నీ అంటే ఇవన్నీ ఒక ఎత్తు అయితే ఈయన మాకు ఒక క్లోజ్ ఫ్రెండ్గా కానీ లేకపోతే ఒక బెస్ట్ పేషెంట్గా కూడాను బాగా పరిచయమైన వ్యక్తి మిస్టర్ తిరుమలరావు గారు అనేసి ఉండేవారు. ఆయన వీళ్ళ బ్రదర్ ఇన్ లా అనమాట. సో దిస్ పేషెంట్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ ఎల్డర్లీ జెంటిల్మెన్ అరౌండ్ 70 years. He came to us with a diagnosis of CA esophagus. We thought we'll start him on concurrent chemo RT. We started him on RT, but on the second day of radiation, the patient developed some complication in the abdomen for which we had to admit in the ICU. So he had to undergo repeated surgeries, 5, 6 and 7 surgeries also sometimes. And then it took almost all 29 days for him to stay in the hospital and then recover from that. What is more inspiring about this person is that even in spite of being 75 years old, he never lost the hope of fighting this disease. All the time he used to greet me because I took a vaccine and it was so disheartening for me to wait for half an hour for that observation period. And this man was in the ICU for 29 days and without even a single complaint, he used to greet each and every sister, nurse or ward boys, whoever comes. So always the only request for him, because ICU I cannot manage anything in the ICU because it's all managed by the emergency doctors. So each and every day he used to request me only one thing, amma meer emi cheyakkarledu, nanu morning evening okkasari vachi palakarinchi pondi ante. So that was the sweetness of that man. And then after that 29 days he came out of ICU and it was so heartening to see him. He finished all the treatments and he successfully went home. His only intention was that he has to go home and sit in his shop. He runs a saree business. So after that, and then that was the time when I was penning this book. And of all the people whomever I have come across, I felt like this is one person who should come and unveil this book. సో ఆయన పిలిస్తే ఎలా ఉంటుంది అనేది ఒక చిన్న ఆలోచనతోటి ఒక చిన్న రిక్వెస్ట్ చేశాను, సార్ మీరు ఉండింటే బాగుండేది, బికాస్ హీ ఈజ్ ఫ్రమ్ విజయవాడ. సో హీ సెడ్, అమ్మ నేను నువ్వు పిలిచావు అని అంటే నాకేమీ పని లేకపోయినా, ఫాలోఅప్ లేకపోయినా, చెకప్ లేకపోయినా, ఏమి లేకపోయినా నేను వచ్చేస్తాను అనేసి he came all the way from Vijayawada just to attend the unveiling of that book. He was the chief guest for that unveiling of that launch of the first edition of this book. So that was around 2.5 years back. Now he fought the disease, but somehow unfortunately he couldn't survive. But ఆత్రేయ గారి కవిత ఉంది కదా, పోయినోళ్ళందరూ మంచోళ్ళే, ఉన్నోళ్ళు పోయినోళ్ళ తీపి గుర్తులు. సో హీ ఈస్ ద best and most memorable memory what we have with us, Professor Subbarao Garu. And you must have noticed there are two small aloe vera plants here. These aloe vera plants were gifted to him when he was launching the book, and then he has, he's no more now. His wife has sent those pictures saying that these are the plants which you gifted to him, and he always used to say, please take care of this plant. ఈ మొక్కని మంచిగా జాగ్రత్తగా చూసుకోండి అని చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా చెప్పి వెళ్ళారట. సో ఇట్స్ సో నైస్ టు హ్యావ్ సచ్ పేషెన్స్, అండ్ ఐఎమ్ వెరీ ఫార్చునేట్ దట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ సుబ్బారావు గారు హ్యాస్ accepted my invitation and he has come all the way. In fact, this is the first attendance for any public gathering, like because of COVID and his elderly age, he didn't go anywhere. But this is the first invitation for which he said, even if COVID is there, I'm still ready to come and attend the function. So I'm thankful to you, sir, for gracing this occasion. And then I should say a few words about Anindita. She was my, one of any routine patient. But the moment what connected me to her was, she is a journalist. She works for Statesman newspaper. So what connects me to her is that when I asked her, I explained everything about the treatment and all. Then she said what would be the cost and all. It was just a routine kind of discussion. And she told me that people have requested me, people have in fact offered me to take CMRF, because she comes from, we know that journalists are highly connected people. They know each and everyone, right from the politicians to everyone in the hospital, doctors and anyone. So she was offered to take a CMRF fund from the CM camp office, but she denied it. And that one character of her connected me to her very deeply, very touching, because who is there, people rob others in these days, and she is one lady. She said, I am entitled to only a journalist scheme because that is my right. I am not entitled to use any CMRF fund. So that is one thing which connected me, and that was the time when I was penning these stories and she helped me out. Believe me, first few stories were very bland without any salt or any spice in that. She added all the flavors to that stories, and in fact she taught me how to write these stories. And in fact I was never into writing any story in my lifetime, and but I was a good storyteller. When whatever I hear or whatever I see here, I used to discuss, tell my friends or patients or other patients. That's how I counsel my other patients. Somebody says, Amma naku ఇప్పుడు 10th class పాప ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఈ పాపకి ట్రీట్మెంట్ అంటే ఎగ్జామ్స్ అయిపోయే లోపల నాకు ఈ ట్రీట్మెంట్ అయిపోవాలి అనేసి చాలామంది ఏడ్చేవాళ్ళు. సో ఎవ్రీ వన్ ఇన్ దేర్ లైఫ్ హ్యాస్ డిఫరెంట్ మైల్ స్టోన్స్. And I tell them that I have one patient right now who is there on treatment now. So these examples have been happening in my life all the time. So there's one patient right now who was diagnosed to have CA breast when she was in pregnancy, 9th month of pregnancy. So just think of what milestones can she ask for in her lifetime. So we have seen such very sad and painful stories in my lifetime. And I thought, like, I have to put all these stories in one book, and that's how Anindita has helped me in writing, teaching, and then from there onwards, like past 3 years, we have been very good friends, and this friendship will continue forever. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Anindita, for coming and gracing this occasion. Then the next person whom I would thank here is Mr. Faisal. Faisal was one key person, because we were all thinking of writing the stories and all, but he was one person who was very instrumental. And he said, "Are this is a very good idea. This should go into public." And he was very instrumental in bringing out this book. He did the entire funding. It was an overnight funding, because we know that in corporate hospitals you have to drain 100 rupees also, you have to produce hundreds of bills, okay? But somehow Faisal was very, keen to get out, bring out this book and fund this book. And I'm very thankful to Faisal. And somehow, fortunately, all the good people are traveling with me wherever I go. I don't know. Is it by coincidence, or is it my fortune? I don't know. But still, I'm a magnet. Okay, thank you. And then, so that's how the journey has become. And there are very inspiring stories in this. So I have invited only very few of the ongoing treatment patients and my very close friends, and of course the old patients also. So one of the invitee is Miss Mahalakshmi. Okay. So Mahalakshmi, I should tell about her one issue, like how I connected with her. She's a big socialite. I won't say like it's not like a Mahila Mandal type lo 10 mandini eskoni magavallu down ane type kaadu ammayi. She's a very spiritual and traditional girl with all the qualities a modern woman should have. And she always stands by truth. That is one quality which I really like. And whenever we walk together, she asked me some very, genuine questions which I feel like all of us must be having in our own minds. So I thought, let me invite her to ask a few of those questions which are ringing in her mind, and let us make it public to everyone. Maha, please come up. Yes, I'll stand this side.
Thank you so much. I'm truly humbled, privileged to be, part of your 25 Hope book release. And what a big gift I can expect on a Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to everyone. And she's definitely a magnet, for sure. I don't know how it clicked. Some friendship, you don't need to...
No, I chased for your friendship.
Some friendship, it clicks in a day. You don't need to surf through them, you don't need to scan them, you don't need to know about their family or anything. Some friendship, you feel that, something is there. She's very true lady, and same what she said to me, she is like that. She's just, X-ray.
Yeah.
You can just see her what she is, and she will just replicate outside.
Now you must be humbled about her words, but you remember, just listen to her questions, and you'll know what she
So just I have some doubts, always we are scared about eppudu we are scared about the letter C. Now it's COVID, before it's cancer, and I hope we always we borrow the next letter, we get the help of next letter D, doctors, to get through all these things. So during COVID also she came out and she was counseling everyone. I thought she's cancer specialist as well as she was psychologist. She was counseling everyone in the community, how to deal with people, what to do, don't panic, all those things. So I have 2-3 questions, just I will finish it off. I know you are running out of time. So first question, how do you reveal the result of the patient? Either you directly tell the patients or you call the patient's family. How do you tell them? I think you play a psychologist role also there. So if you tell, that will be great.
Yeah. Breaking bad news in a cancer family is something which is very, very, very important and very crucial for us. And sometimes there will be some patients who will require at least 1 or 1.5 hours also to understand that diagnosis and come out through it and understand what has to be done and all. So if you see the Western countries, they break the news directly to the patient, and they, because they go through all those medical legal problems, so they are supposed to tell everything directly to the patient. But here in our country, we have to even tell the patient and also the patient attenders. Okay, So counseling the family is more important for us than counseling the patient here, because there are some patients who come with a diagnosis saying that, we are ready to spend lakhs and crores of rupees also sometimes, because and many of them will not be really affordable patients. They'll be coming up with with a solution that, madam, we are ready to sell our properties and all. So in that situation, like, it is very important for us to tell the patient the diagnosis, the stage of the disease. And I'll tell you, like, whenever you sit with a cancer patient, with any of the doctor, especially to a cancer doctor, you have to ask only two questions. Is there any survival for this patient by spending all these treatments? And the second thing is, if there is no survival, what is the purpose of the treatment? Are we going to give any palliation to the patient, or is it only to fill the pockets of the corporate hospitals?
Yeah, I'll continue with that.
I know.
With your
You
answer,
answer.
I'll continue. Generally, we go to the doctor. He will say, go for scan, go for MRI. We immediately give a comment that, oh, వాళ్ళు డబ్బులు చేస్తున్నారు, కార్పొరేట్ హాస్పిటల్ కదా, అది పెద్ద హోటల్ లాగా. Just it's a normal comment. They may not know what it is. And once the result come, that's totally a different thing. But if the result is negative, then they say that the doctor cheated. So how do you deal with the patient? And generally patient thinks that I pay you, you are responsible for me. You are responsible for my life. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So all the time she has a question that I'm very scared to go to a doctor or any corporate hospital. Andarki ade bayamu, manaku andarki ade bayamu. And let me tell you my own experience. My mother was having a back pain, and she was almost all suffering for the past 15 years for this back pain and all. So I had to visit a doctor who said immediately that, oh, this is a very grave problem, you have to go for immediate surgery and a laminectomy and all, whatever surgeries they do. And then I was scared, because the elderly lady, 60 years, she was 60 by that time. 60 years, if we operate, what will happen? And that's the time when I thought, like, let me go for a second opinion. And I went to one of my very close friend, a classmate who's an orthopedic surgeon. He said, "Hey Sunita, you see this scan, this is a routine scan which any elderly woman will have. You take a scan for yourself and me, it can also happen." So I'll tell you, like, good people are there everywhere and bad people are also there everywhere. It's like how you pick up your doctor, or how you pick up your hospital. So I won't say that you come to American Oncology Institute, we're all very good, we'll do all the best possible things, we are very genuine and all. I would say that it's a very tough question to answer, very tough question, because all the time we keep on arguing on this question, but still I don't know, I cannot give a single answer for that. But what all I can say is, if you are in a doubt, you can go for a second opinion. Okay, there is nothing wrong in going for a second opinion. In fact, when I was in the beginning stage of my career, when somebody when I give a diagnosis and I give a treatment schedule for a patient, and if these patients they go out for a second opinion, I used to feel I used to be very angry with them. What is this? Why this patient is not believing me? But after going through all these personal experiences with my own parents and with my own family members, I feel like, okay, there is nothing wrong in going for a second opinion. Let them go. And in fact, we have patients from here who go for, once you come out with a treatment schedule, they go everywhere. They go everywhere, and finally they come and land up here saying that, okay, this is a far better place, because we don't have this COVID patients in this time, because I joined in a COVID crisis. I don't know how it was earlier. So we don't have COVID patients here. The doctors are good. The facility is good and all. So did I answer? Did I satisfy you? I know this will be a never-ending
Unresolvable
Yes.
issue, I think. So it depends on the patient. So
Yes.
finally.
Yes, yes.
So last question. What do you think about Googling about everything? Because when you Google about anything, it will finally take you to destination. Directly, your Atma will just fly away and it will go and settle somewhere, even for the small issue. So what do you think about that?
I also Google, okay, I also Google, because I mean, if you ask me, last 25 years I've been treating only cancer patients. I don't remember anything about even simple hypertension or diabetes. So somebody suggests some treatment, I will immediately Google and see whether it is. There's nothing wrong in it, but only thing is, see the genuinity of the articles. People they just write some article in that and then they post it. And in fact, I get so many patients who come with a saying that, madam, if you take this churan or this thing, I mean, the cancer will not be, it will not, it will vanish or something like that. So there are some genuine sites. See the genuinity of the site and then read up. Maybe if you want to really read into it, go for the Medscape or MedClinics. These are some very good websites which will give you a solid answer for some of the questions. But I would suggest, if you have a trust in a doctor, you would not Google, okay? But and that trust is not there with anyone. I don't trust my doctors anymore. So that you have to Google. No problem.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, and congratulations for both the bold women who make it happen, and it was a wonderful experience for me. Choose to challenge.
Yeah. Thank you, Maha.
Thank you.
And I have a late joinee now. Madhvi is there. She is my one of my best friend. She is an ENT surgeon, and she chose all the way to travel from second. She practices in Secunderabad, but she chose all the way from Secunderabad to Nallagandla, just for the one reason that I am there here. And she came with that first diagnosis. I mean, the first mammogram was she didn't know what to do, and then she forwarded that report to me, and from there our journey again started together. So we've been very close friends for the past 20 years. So maybe once all these treatments are completed, I'll do a novel on her. Okay, it's a very long story, right? The next Women's Day, I'm hopefully thinking that I'll release a novel and Hope Street 2 book. Okay, thank you so much. And then Dr. Prabhakar is not here, but he is one person from the hospital management, because the earlier book was in a different branding from a different hospital. He was very instrumental in immediately after seeing that book. He said, madam, and he read only one page in that book in front of me. So he said, madam, this book is really good. It has to be published in our hospital name, and we will give it free of cost to everyone whoever wants to read it. And that's how he supported it. Unfortunately, he's not here because he's stuck up in some emergency work. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the patient hearing. Thank you.
And chose to challenge something which is very dreadful, has been dreadful. But guess what? There is hope, and there is much more to that hope. There is the commitment that comes from the families. There is a commitment that comes from the care providers, the doctors themselves, and everyone who's involved in the patient's journey. So, on this occasion, I would just congratulate Dr. Sunita and the team here for the book, and also I would commend all the ladies who are here, that it is indeed a privilege for all of us as men to be working alongside you, because you are the true heroes of everything that you do, and you are the ones who are stepping up and doing things in life which otherwise many of us would just sit back and say, I wish we could, or we wish we could. But all of you are magical, so thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Now, the most important person, a lady with a beautiful smile, a most important person, I would say, behind this book, Miss Anandita, to please come on the stage and share your views with us. A huge round of applause for Miss Anandita, ma'am.
I don't know, but somehow Sunita always manages to embarrass me with her praises and everything. Initially, I thought of reading out of one story or some, but since Dr. Subbarao has shared the stories, I would like to share the story behind this book. When I entered the picture, the Telugu version of the book was complete. But art Dr. Sunita is an overachiever. She always thinks more how to do more about things. So she was then planning an English book, and obviously the translation, she wanted me to sit with her and listen to the stories. So I had just began my radiation sessions, and each day after treatment on the machine, she would narrate a story. So it was just like our own version of 1001 Arabian Nights. Every day after treatment, she would narrate a story, and the next day, the story would land in my email for editing. And you know, we know her as a doctor, but she is such a good, generous-hearted person, and the empathy she feels for her for her patients as a physician, that really helps her to be that good doctor. It is her empathy, it is her compassion for her patients. She never, treats her patients just as patients. She forms a lifelong bond with each of them. Each of her patients, she knows everything about them, their family, their struggles, and from those things, these stories really came out. And there are plenty of books on cancer. You know, some are autobiographical, some are by doctors. There are, somebody writing about medical history. We all know about that book, Emperor of Maladies. So those there are lots of books on diet, on how to tackle cancer, how families struggle through it. But I can say that this particular book is different. Different because each of these stories, the common thread is cancer, obviously, because they revolve around a cancer patient. But at the same time, none of these stories are same, because each human being is also different, isn't it? So it is Sunita's ability to recognize that uniqueness in each of these person who come to her as a patient. It is her ability to think about their struggle that really makes these 25 stories, each of them are a gem. The persons she wrote about, they are not only struggling with cancer, they are also struggling in other things in life which are a bigger struggle than cancer. Cancer appears to be a small enemy because there are other things they are, fighting in life. And she talks about common people. None of these people, maybe there are a few, some are a brilliant student or a nun, some are just a maid, maybe a watchman, and there is even a Devdasi. She talks about them, and each of these people, that really makes 25 Hope Street stand out among all these books on cancer is the empathy, the compassion that Sunita feels for them. And this is just not what I mean to say is this book is about cancer, but is not about only cancer. This book has its own literary value because each of this story has a suspense. There's a twist at the end, which makes this book literary. There is something more to it than just being a book for cancer patients. I can share my own experience about this book. I remember when I was diagnosed, my daughter was in class 7. And I was really very upset about it because I thought she's really young. And I really didn't know how to, I may not survive. What will happen to her? Apart from my treatment that was going on, I was constantly thinking about this. And obviously, my doctors had counseled me. Dr. Naidu did, Sunita did. But my brain was able to understand what is going on. But my heart I was scared. We all are. Cancer is such a, when you hear that word, cancer, it really makes you, what should I say? We are really apprehensive about cancer. So then one day Sunita was narrating a story about a new mother. She just had a newborn. After that she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was under treatment. She was a slum dweller. She was facing immense problem, and it was her neighbor who was helping her out by taking care of the child, helping her with the household chores, because she couldn't afford another maid. And then that girl, she was 18, 19-year-old girl, I say she was not even a woman. And that girl just told Sunita that, I'm just worried about my daughter. Once she is toilet trained, I would be ready to go. I think I just look for that. And I thought that's her milestone. She just wants her daughter to be, toilet trained. And my daughter, I have already spent 14 years with her. I think I have, brought her up to that level where she can take care of herself. And I really felt ashamed that day that I was thinking about myself, my daughter, and look at this girl, she may not even have a college education, and she has that philosophy of life where she thinks that if my daughter is toilet trained, she is no more dependent upon others, and then I can go wherever life takes me. And I was amazed. I really understood how therapeutic this book is when you consider the things Sunita has written about. And we have very few in our country. We have very few support system, maybe support groups that we have in the US, UK. They have lots of support groups where the patients, their families, they are counseled, they exchange ideas. But this book can fill up that gap in our country, since many people do not have that, they do not have access to this kind of a support group in our system. And so this book really needs to be translated in other languages too. It should be, I think it should be translated in all regional languages, so that gap we see every day, that not everybody can access to a support group, though that can be filled up by this kind of an endeavor. I think that is all I have to say. I hope you will all read this book, and even if you have other patients who are not patients of Dr. Sunita, they can even avail this book and get all the help they need. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
When Dr. Sunita invited me to come and inaugurate the book, without any hesitation, not even for a single second, I did not go out of my apartmental complex since March 23rd till today. I've been in and around the apartment only, because we are senior citizens, children not with us, and our CM and PM are saying that senior citizens should not go out. Whatever may be required, you will get everything at home. Really, we are getting home because of the online business and all these things we are getting. So that is going on. I appreciate Sunita's because I love her for work. I saw her how she is treating the patients. I was with 1.5 months in the hospital. Even the 3 months are, my brother-in-law is there for 3 months in Hyderabad for the treatment, 1.5 months in the hospital, either in the ICU or in the room. One thing is special for Sunita, Dr. Sunita. She told also, my brother-in-law requested her, in ICU there is no duty for you, but morning while coming to the hospital, just come and peep into my room, and while going also, you please come and peep into my room. That is enough for me. She respected. How many doctors will do like that every day, going to the ICU and seeing the patients when it is not concerned? ICU is a separate unit. Anyway, my brother-in-law was so lucky to have the doctors like that. Naidu garu, Sunita garu, Rajesh Vyas garu, name the doctor there. We are very fortunate. And also Faisal garu, I have to name Faisal garu also. He is very helpful person.